If you like your delay-based netcode, then, you know, I salute you on this day. Enjoy your crazy pills. Kefla's theme's really good for this. Absolutely love it. What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a wonderful Saturday afternoon. You know, it feels really good. People said it wasn't going to happen for the longest time. Hiroki said it herself. Everybody said it. Dragon Ball FighterZ is not getting rollback. Dragon Ball FighterZ is not getting rollback. It's not built for it. You got to build it from the ground up. I am so happy to tell you that that's just wrong. We are getting rollback netcode in Dragon Ball FighterZ. You might ask, why does that matter? The game wasn't built for it. It's going to look clunky. It's going to look weird. If this is executed as well, or even like close to as well as Guilty Gear Strive or DNF Duel, not only does it open the door for people to actually hold viable online tournaments, it opens the door for like East versus West Coast, East Coast versus EU, all over the world. Everybody gets to play together. And, you know, it might not be perfect. You know, maybe you have 4 rollback frames with like 100 and something ping with somebody from France if you're living in California. Not great. Much better than delay-based at the moment. That, in and of itself, is like the final step I feel we needed for netcode to be pretty much modernized for fighting games. Bandai Namco was the last one. The last straw, right? We needed the big company to commit, because now that they've sunk their teeth in and are like, all right, rollback netcode for Dragon Ball FighterZ. It's this long in its lifespan, and they're like, my boy Goku really needs some love, all right? People want to play this game. They want to play it online, and they are just absolutely struggling down bad. We're getting it. We don't know when, but it's coming. It takes a long time to implement, but thank God they're actually implementing it. What does that mean for me? That means that now, depending on how good the netcode is, I'm going to be happy about running online tournaments. I'm going to be happy that I could potentially include Texas, who's just in the shadow realm for fighting games for the most part, because rollback doesn't, like, you can't, I'm not putting Texas in a tournament with delay-based netcode. You give me rollback and it's nice, all right, TCT, come start fighting against some of the best in the West, some of the best in the East. Right now, sorry, stay in your 6-frame delay time chamber. Some of the positives of rollback is, yeah, it opens up all the doors for us to play all around the world, all around the US, but it has to be implemented well. Dragon Ball is a game that was not designed for rollback. Seeing somebody go for like a Kara DR or something, and then they just get a raw button, that's going to feel really bad. Getting a hit confirm into like full screen super, and you whiff because their key blast doesn't come out, it's going to feel terrible. It's going to feel terrible. There's going to be a lot of learning curves. There's going to be a lot of benefits, but we also have to pay attention to what could go wrong, which is fine. No game is going to have perfect netcode, unless you're Skullgirls. Skullgirls is actually gas with the netcode. I do not think that this game is going to have GGPO. It's going to have their own in-house rollback made in whatever way. It might be similar to Guilty Gear. It might be similar to DNF. I hope that it's good with every fiber of my being. I know that they discussed that PS4 won't get it and there's an upgrade path available. If I have to pay for a whole new version of the game, totally fine. I already said this months ago. I said this over a year ago, maybe even a year and a half ago. I said, if they give me a rollback, I will pay another $60 for the game. People have paid thousands of dollars to try to emulate the game on Parsec and cloud servers, and while, you know, it gives you a consistent connection, it creates a whole slew of different problems. Parsec servers, and this is nothing against Parsec. Parsec is not the issue here. The game looks like shit. The game eats inputs like no tomorrow. It just creates a different experience from offline, which is what you're trying to avoid anyways, because if you're trying to practice for tournament and take the game seriously, you're literally shooting yourself in the foot by playing Parsec. So, if rollback comes in form and lets us play an experience that's as close as possible to offline PS4 Dragon Ball, eventually, you know, if we go to PC, that's going to be a whole different beast, because offline PC Dragon Ball is like the crispiest shit, and it's a different game. I am going to be stoked, because this unlocks the door for so many Dragon Ball players that just gave up on the game because they're like, man, this netcode's ass. I just played against a 6-frame opponent. He's playing hit. He's literally teleporting around the screen. I'm losing my mind. Now you actually get to play the game. You get to see, hey, this setup doesn't work in an offline environment or a stable connection environment. You have to actually level up your game, and I think that's what's most important. Just by announcing rollback, this game has so much momentum behind it. I need the date. Like, I need it in my bones, in my veins already, because I gotta get my hands on it. I gotta sink my teeth into it and see how I feel. I know that there's gonna be a choice to pick delay-based and rollback. So there is definitely a place where you can compare. You can literally compare them side by side, see how they play. Might be a spec space thing. If you like your delay-based netcode, then, you know, I salute you on this day. Enjoy your crazy pills. But God, what a step in the right direction. What a step in the right direction. Honestly, what does that mean for the future of Dragon Ball FighterZ, though? Obviously, we're going to have opportunities to run more online tournaments. I think the overall level of players is going to go up drastically if the rollback is good, because you get to play with people all over the world. Right now, we're in an isolated state where West Coast can't play East Coast with a solid connection at all. The Midwest can't really play West Coast, and East Coast, you know, it reaches pretty far, but the netcode is just not great overall. And on PS4, don't play PS4 net play. Don't do it. I highly recommend against it if you are. If you want to play in sludge and underwater, be my guest. Be my absolute guest. But if this is successful, Arc System Works has already said they want to do more IP fighters because that's what they feel like is going to bring fighting games into the mainstream. If rollback is successful, if they see the player base surge and actually like loving the game, I think that's a perfect way to test a Dragon Ball FighterZ 2 or a Hyper Dragon Ball FighterZ, whatever they want to call it. I think it's a complete possibility. Is it going to come in a while? Not anytime soon. Maybe like 3 years. If they come out with Dragon Ball FighterZ 2 and this netcode is fantastic and they're like, bam, rollbacks on it from the start, biggest fighting game in the world. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Everybody's going to pick up this game. The netcode is going to be amazing. Goku is loved across the world. I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my life. I'll be commentating it until I'm 40. That's how I see the potential of rollback. I think it's a very important addition to Dragon Ball FighterZ, and the community definitely deserves it. And, you know, I can't wait for the next chapter, the next episode of Dragon Ball FighterZ once we have it available. So, rollback netcode. God damn. God damn.